So let's continue this discussion and welcome back retired Army General and former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, General Wesley Clark. Thank you for sticking with us. We apologize for interrupting you earlier, General, but you just heard the Secretary of War on Operation Epic Fury, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. What did you take away from their briefing on this operation?
Very well planned, very well thought through. Still in the early stages. We're in this struggle to persuade the Iranians, whatever chain of command they have remaining, that they're going to lose. And we're going to continue to take out their targets, their ability to respond by missiles. We're going to take out their Navy. The Israelis are doing their part on this. And, this is an indeterminate duration operation. You can't set a specific timeline. What you have to do is exactly what General Kane said. You do the strikes, you do the battle damage assessment, you continue the strikes. We do have air superiority. We can go there and stay there, and they will be destroyed piece by piece. Now, the timing of that, how long it takes, and so forth, it's just not predictable. At least not on an unclassified level, and it really depends on the stubbornness and the inability of the Iranian regime to see its dilemma. It needs to call a halt to its activities now, and go back to the negotiating table with the president.
Yeah, you mentioned the stubbornness of the Iranian regime. And after Operation Midnight Hammer last June, the U.S. told Iran then that they must make a deal, agree to terms. They refused to agree to a peaceful deal then. And you just heard Secretary Hegseth say just now they were not negotiating. They were stalling, threatening to strike U.S. forces. So this was the result. Operation Epic Fury. Was this the right move right now? Was this necessary?
I think this strike is, and what's going on, was inevitable. For 47 years, this regime in Iran has used the United States and Israel as the destruction, as the reason for their existence. So it was inevitable. And, I was on television yesterday with another group, and they said, what about Iran's deterrence? Well, Iran's so-called deterrence, its axis of resistance, building these missiles, seeking a nuclear weapon, that's not deterrence, that's provocation. When it's coupled with a leadership that insists on the destruction of other countries. So this is a conflict that was inevitable, in my view. The questions now are the rate at which we can degrade Iran's capabilities. And one of the things that wasn't mentioned, of course, is the Straits of Hormuz. They've got to be cleared and protected, and we've got to get commerce going back again in the region. And if I could just address one other thing. A number of commentators Saturday and Sunday said, oh, the Iranians made a big mistake. They attacked their friends in the region, like Qatar and others. No, that wasn't a mistake. The Iranians want to bring maximum chaos to the region. And so it's up to the United States and our allies to take out their capabilities to do so as rapidly and effectively as possible.
Real quickly, General, I know a lot of the questioning, a lot of the statements have gone about how do we make sure this is not another Iraq or all the other military exercises that didn't go as we wanted to. You go all the way back to Vietnam in uniform. You've obviously done Iraq, Afghanistan. What do you see different from those previous conflicts?
Well, it's entirely, these are entirely different. We have different means with different objectives and so forth. This is a campaign that's like an air campaign, like the one I ran against Slobodan Milosevic in 1999 when I was the NATO commander. We continuously escalated. We achieved escalation dominance, and we convinced Milosevic that he was going to lose. And ultimately, he pulled out of Kosovo, and Kosovo is now an independent nation. These Iranian, this residual leadership is going to pretty soon recognize it's going to lose. And when it recognizes that, or when the population rises up against it and overthrows it, that's when this will end.
All right. General Wesley Clark, thank you for joining us this morning and adding your expertise to this.